Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to BECW Television. I am James Fraser, and today I am accompanied by the #1 contender for the BECW Tag Team Championships, Mr. Stan Powers.
Good afternoon, Grapple fans. I hope you're well, and I hope you're looking forward to this rather marvellous contest we have coming up now.
It is much anticipated, the Necromancer versus Mr. Hollywood, Shane Stevens. And now we take it to the ring, which this week we have a proper ring announcer. Not that fool, the trash man, Marcus Broom. It is in fact the delightful one, Mr. Delightful. Over to you, sir, now.
Thank you over there on commentary. Welcome to the BECW Asylum. We have a great match in store for you today between the Necromancer. Yay!
Bit of heat there for the Necromancer.
Clearly not popular with the crowd. Whereas Mr. Hollywood clearly is.
Yes, rather partisan crowd indeed.
Strange that his name is Mr. Hollywood, but Shane Stevens. Surely that makes him Mr. Stevens.
Now, can I welcome...
Indeed it does. He must be a slightly confused chap.
It's a conundrum.
Yes.
And here is the Necromancer.
There he is. The Necromancer.
Commonly referred to as a dirty German, but I wouldn't say that. I think he's a lovely man.
What'd you say?
I said I think you're a lovely man.
Tosser.
Well, I'm not going to deny that. I can't deny that.
Well, there we go, and we've already lost the PG rating for this afternoon.
Well, unfortunately, I think he was referring to the fact that I like to toss and turn at night in my bed.
You were quite the tosser last week. You tossed Mr. Duffy here, there, and everywhere.
That I did. If there's tossing to be done, it's me. The only thing I'll turn down in bed is the sheets.
And as you can see, the referee for this week's competition is the Barney Rubble of BECW, Bill Duffy, minus the Hulk Hogan bandana.
Well, I think General Manager Ben Lawrence had a word with him about the bandana.
Oh.
It was scaring some of the younger audience members.
It was, wasn't it? It frightened me to a point as well.
I can quite understand that.
Now, from right here in London, Mr. Hollywood, Shane Stevens!
The conundrum thickens that Mr. Stevens, Mr. Hollywood, is from London.
Back in the asylum, and it hasn't got any less crazy.
And there he is. Look at the size of this man.
He is quite the size, I'll give you that.
It's like he ate Arnold Schwarzenegger.
And Sylvester Stallone, with a touch of Van Damme.
I imagine that meal would have been quite, wait for it, tough.
Yes. Now this is quite anticipated, this match, through the last few BCW shows where Necromancer has got the one-up on Mr. Hollywood.
Well, it has been escalating. I remember, I believe it was training to World 5.
That was after the climactic street fight between...
The Croydon Death Match.
The Croydon
yes.
Death Match. Yes. Now he hasn't... Since then, Necromancer has not quite been on the winning streak. He actually took on his trainer, Mr. Paul Phoenix, who's now retired.
Because of Necromancer's win. I mean, you can never count the man out. He is, like, despicable.
Yes.
He will do anything to squeak out the win.
In fact...
I don't mind that personally. So...
It was quite the bloodbath at the Croydon Death Match. He did in fact retire his trainer, Paul Phoenix. The student became the master in a matter of a 3 count. But since then, the Necromancer hasn't been on that much of a winning streak. He's turned on Gemini.
Obviously, he was unhappy with the way his relationship with Gemini was progressing. Obviously, making the fans very angry, turning on a woman like that. Let's see how well he does against a man, and not just a man and a half here, Mr. Hollywood, Shane Stevens.
And there you see some wrestling from the tie-up to a wrist lock. It's nice to see wrestling for a change, and believe it or not, the Necromancer can wrestle.
He is. He's very, very proficient in his trade. I can't take anything away from his skills. But then again, Mr. Hollywood isn't just a flashy look and big pair of muscles. He can also wrestle himself.
An arm drag takeover, and he's going for a into the arm bar.
It may not look a lot, but at the moment, the Necromancer is spending energy trying to get out of this hold, which is zapping down strength not only in his body, but majorly in his arm.
You don't want to take deep breaths in that hold. Nice nip up there by the Necromancer. As I was saying, this man can wrestle. I did referee a match between he and Bill Duffy. It was an old school, world school match, and he hung in there. I will back him up on that. There we are, working the pectorals there.
Personally, I would have expected Mr. Hollywood to have come out on fire. The Necromancer taking the early advantage here.
Nice
And
reversal
I
there.
speak too soon.
Of course, Mr. Hollywood has a titanic clash coming up, a Falls Count Anywhere at Rumble in the Jungle on the 24th of this month with Will Armstrong.
Now that man is a beast. Look at the size of Mr. Hollywood, and this man is even bigger.
Oh, nearly
Almost
tripped him there.
tripped him.
Oh, what a leap! Oh. So catch, and into the hip toss.
Crowd roaring their approval for Mr. Hollywood, coming out on top of that altercation.
There we are, landing on his back there, the Necromancer. He's not quite feeling it at the moment. Oh. And with a scoop slam. Oh! Onto the lower back again.
Now the impact with which he hit that mat there must have really hurt. Let's just be honest about it.
There's a terrible crack at the top of those trousers, I must say.
I don't think the ladies in the audience are minding.
There's only a handful.
That's all you need. Anything more than a handful is a waste.
Oh, he's choked up in the bottom rope and the referee's doing nothing. And he skins the cat.
Mr. Hollywood right back in. Necromancer
Oh, and
shot.
a low bridge. Oh, and the Necromancer lands 4 feet in front of us.
He can't, he looks very hurt.
The referee's starting the 10 count. He's up to 2.
I can tell you firsthand, coming out of the ring like that, when you don't expect to be hitting the floor, my God, it's a shock.
Good, he's
And
not.
it'll hurt you. What's this?
He's not. Oh! Oh!
Necromancer.
And a shot block.
He had that perfectly scouted.
Right to the
Mr.
knee.
Hollywood now in a world of hurt out here on the outside.
And now the count starts for both of them. Some audience members don't look that interested. It's quite a shame because these two are quite the combatants.
Yes, you would have thought the audience would be more into this match. Clearly not.
And into the corner post.
Mr. Hollywood taken right in, face versus still. Face is not going to win.
And if I just turn the camera slightly, we can pick this up now. And he rolls back into the ring just in time.
The audience seemed shocked into silence.
He's really working that arm and shoulder. Come on, referee. Come on, referee. Surely that's a DQ.
Well, obviously the referee taking it upon himself to be lenient and let these two go at it. He knows the fans here wouldn't be happy with a disqualification victory, so he's going to let them
And
go at
kicking
it.
him whilst he's down.
Mr. Hollywood looking decidedly worse for wear here.
He is now.
I don't see how he can possibly come back from this beat.
Oh! And the referee starts the 10 count again. He really does need to gain control of this match. And he's feeding it back into the ring, and there we are.
Necromancer